Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Now, if you are navigating the special education system right now, you already know it can feel like this never-ending mountain of paperwork, confusing acronyms, and meetings that honestly just leave you needing a really long nap. It is so incredibly easy to feel totally overwhelmed. But today, we're flipping the script. We are taking all those concepts you've been learning about and turning them into a concrete, completely actionable toolkit that puts you firmly back in the driver's seat.
You know, there's a saying, knowledge without action is just information. And it's so true here. You could literally memorize every single special education law in the books, but if you don't have a practical way to apply them for your child, well, it doesn't really help you much when you're sitting in that meeting room. So this explainer is entirely focused on what you do next. We're going to empower you to take practical, actionable steps to truly advocate for your child.
All right, so here is our game plan for today. We're going to start by turning your knowledge into action. Then we'll build your parent binder system, walk through some essential email templates, and finally, we'll cover when and how to seek outside help.
Okay, let's dive into Section 1, Knowledge into Action. Let's build up your foundation so you can be a highly successful advocate.
I want you to hear this loud and clear, okay? You absolutely do not need a law degree or a background in special education to get your child exactly what they need. You really don't. You just need to be organized and you need to be consistent. Honestly, by simply showing up and keeping your records straight, you automatically become the most powerful advocate in the room.
Moving on to Section 2, the Parent Binder System, or as pretty much every parent knows it, organizing the chaos.
Look, every parent needs a binder. Walking into a meeting with your documents perfectly in order, it completely changes the dynamic in the room. You're going to want tabs for all the essentials. So that's your current and previous IEPs, super important for tracking progress over time. Then, group your evaluation reports, prior written notices, consent forms, and progress reports. And finally, keep a dedicated section for your correspondence, your own meeting notes, and any outside medical evaluations.
And hey, if the mere thought of carrying around a giant physical binder makes you break out in hives, no problem at all. A digital folder in Google Drive or OneDrive works perfectly for this. Just make sure you scan your physical documents and use crystal clear file names. Something like, IEP _ 2025-2026 _ signed _ .pdf. Oh, and please always keep a backup.
Now listen closely to this one because this is literally the single most important habit you can build. Add documents to the binder immediately. Do not, I repeat, do not let a paper mountain form on your kitchen counter where it's just going to get lost under junk mail. Taking 5 minutes to file a report today will literally save you an hour of frantic searching the night before your next IEP meeting. Trust me on this, consistency is your superpower here.
All right, Section 3, Essential Email Templates, giving you a voice. So your records are organized? Great. Let's learn how to actually document and demand action effectively.
So here is the golden rule. Email is documentation, period. Whenever you're communicating with the school, you have to keep the tone calm and professional. You've got to remember that every single email you send actually becomes part of your child's formal educational record. Now, obviously, emotion is completely natural here, but objectivity, that is what actually gets results.
For example, if you need an evaluation, don't just ask about it in passing in the hallway. Put it in writing. Say, I formally request a comprehensive evaluation, but here is the absolutely crucial part. You need to add, I understand the evaluation must be completed within 90 calendar days. Just by typing those specific words, you are locking in a firm legal timeline. It's a real game changer.
Now let's demystify one of the most intimidating acronyms in special ed, the PWN, or Prior Written Notice. Seriously, do not let the jargon scare you. A PWN is simply a document from the school that explains exactly what they proposed or refused to do for your child, why they made that decision, the data they relied on to make it, and any other alternatives they considered. And you know what? It is your absolute right to have this in writing.
So, let's just imagine the school verbally refuses a service during a meeting. Instead of getting into a heated argument, you calmly use this template to demand accountability. You write, please provide the written notice required under IDEA that explains the proposed action and the reasons for the decision. Boom. This legally forces the team to actually justify their choices based on hard data, rather than just kind of brushing off your concerns.
Okay, let's move to another really critical tool, the IEE, which stands for Independent Educational Evaluation.
Say the district conducts an evaluation on your child, and you just totally disagree with their findings. Well, you have the right to request an IEE. This is an evaluation done by an outside, independent professional. But here is the absolute best part. It is paid for at public expense. It's basically your ultimate safeguard against an inaccurate school assessment.
So when you're requesting that IEE, state your disagreement clearly. And crucially, you want to follow up with this exact phrasing. Please provide information about the district's IEE criteria, including the list of approved evaluators. Asking this forces the district to show their hand, and it keeps the whole process moving, so you can actually get that outside evaluation funded and approved without any unnecessary delays.
Now, rounding out your toolkit, you'll also want to use templates for requesting an IEP meeting to discuss your concerns. And this is a big one, following up afterward. Sending a follow-up email that outlines exactly what the school committed to ensures everyone is completely on the same page. If they disagree with your summary, well, they have to put it in writing. And if they don't reply, your email stands as the undisputed record of what was decided. It's that simple.
Moving on to Section 4, seeking outside help. Knowing exactly when to escalate. While good communication definitely resolves most disagreements, sometimes you just need a safety net. So let's take a look at when and how to escalate things.
The real trick here is knowing exactly who to call. You should consider bringing in an advocate when you feel unheard, if the IEP is just being flat out ignored, or if you need help navigating a specific placement dispute. Advocates know the language, and they can really bridge that communication gap. On the other hand, you want to call an attorney when things escalate into actual legal territory, like if your child's rights are being violated, you're looking at filing for due process, or if you have some serious legal deadlines looming. Also, depending on where you live, you should definitely tap into free state-specific resources. For instance, in New Jersey, the OSEP maintains dispute resolution info, and the Parent Training and Information Centers, or PTIs, offer free training and support. So be sure to always hunt down these state-funded centers in your area whenever you need some extra guidance.
Now, for a quick, friendly reminder, this explainer is strictly for educational purposes only. It's not a substitute for legal, medical, or psychological advice. So while you are now incredibly empowered with all these new tools, you should always seek out a qualified professional for your specific legal situations.
Well, we have definitely covered a lot of ground today. You've got the knowledge, you've got the tools. The power dynamic has officially shifted in your favor. So I want you to look at your child's records today and ask yourself this: what is the very first step you are going to take?